I want to share with you an interesting technique called the P fast technique to learn anything fast. The other day I was watching a video whose speaker was Jim Quick. He is also the memory champion or the world class memory champion. When he was a child, that time he was called the boy with a broken head because he had many head injuries. So due to those brain injuries, he wasn't able to learn anything or read some words or read any book like a normal child. So he suffered a lot in that age with learning and all that stuff. But later he decided to overcome this challenge, and now he is the world memory champion. And he developed some techniques, and one of his technique is called the P fast method. So in that talk I came to know about this, and just want to share with you, and it's up to you to use this method or not. But remember, this is a method which came from a world class memory champion who, when he was a young child, didn't knew anything about how to learn. He came up with this method and named it P fast method. Now we are going to talk about it in a second. And but if you want to learn anything, then you would apply this method. So the P stands for belief. Now beliefs are something our mind makes, or you could call it is subconsciously made or unknowingly. Beliefs are planted in our head or in our mind since we are a young child. So there was an experiment conducted by a hypnos in which a person hypnotized another person and made him believe that his skin was burned, and literally his brain interpreted that belief that the hypnotizer made, which is his skin was burned, and literally the skin started burning, and in fact the skin was swollen too. And then later the hypnotizer made his hand come over the injury and hypnotized him, and instead believed that he has been recovered completely, and literally the skin became normal again. So this was an extreme example, but this study was real, and in his talk that Jim Quick talk, he talked about this experiment, and he told that beliefs are real, and beliefs could literally do such amazing things. They could make or break your work. Like in this case, the belief was so strong that brain reacted in a way to make that belief a possibility, or you could say make it real. So that's why belief is so important in this particular aspect of learning anything faster. So if you believe that you could do that skill, or do that task or learn that skill, then nobody could stop you from learning that skill. But if you have a belief that you couldn't do it, then guess what, your brain would tell you you can't do it, so don't do it anymore, don't focus on it, don't do that thing. So your mind limits you from going ahead, and perfection is the enemy of progress, as you know. So until many people think that until they are perfect they couldn't start, that's what the limiting belief there. But if you could remove such belief, which are B rules, means bullshit rules, which he calls B rules. So if you remove those rules or those beliefs, then you have unlimited potential and you could grow up to any extent that you wish. So the first part becomes the beliefs. In fact, I would recommend you exercise. Write down all the beliefs or the limiting beliefs that are stopping you from achieving your desired goal. What things do you think about when you think about that goal? Anything that it might be other people's opinions, or what others will think about you, or anything like you are not capable of. Write down all those beliefs and accept that those are B rules, means rules, and you don't need to follow them. You could create your own belief system. In fact, you could also listen to subconscious mind programming at night, which is basically a meditation. Like when you how you do meditation, similarly it's a kind of meditation that you do at night while sleeping, and subconsciously those beliefs are instilled in your mind. Although I wouldn't go in much detail, but you could search on YouTube subconscious mind reprogramming, and then you could watch any video while sleeping. So that would do your belief part. Then in the B fast method, next comes the E. So E stands for exercise. Now exercise, you might think what we should do exercise, or how often should we exercise. You could do as much workout as you can, but before learning anything you could do any kind of exercise. I learned that he would do brain yoga. In you could search on YouTube all the exercises that you want. But when we get our body moving, our heart starts pounding, and then our brain becomes more active and becomes and accepts the information that we are taking in while learning anything. So you could do anything, or there are certain exercises called the brain yoga. The one move I know which I would like to share with you is this: you hold up your ears with your arms crossed and you do sit-ups. That is one brain yoga. You could search on YouTube, you would get a lot of brain yoga poses. You could do that, or you could exercise to get your heart pounding. So when your heart beats faster, your mind becomes active, so it gets in the state of learning. Instead of laziness, it comes into the state of productivity. That's why exercising is essential if we want to learn anything. Next comes the F. F stands for forget. Now you might be asking, why do we have to forget and what do we have to forget? Now forget here means forget that you know everything from since the starting. If you heard even a sentence, then you shouldn't have a belief that, oh, I already know that. Instead you should be saying, I use that. If you haven't used that, then it means you haven't understood it. So you must listen carefully to what information you are receiving, and don't treat it like you already know that. But if you have applied it, then only you know its real purpose. But if you haven't applied it, then it means you don't know enough about it. So you should accept that information and know that you could learn from everybody and keep your mind open. Here was an example that how when a parachute works is when it's open. If the parachute is closed, it has no work. So like that only your mind, when your mind is closed, is just like a closed parachute which doesn't do anything at all. But when it's open, it receives all the information, and then you could filter out those the negative ones, or the information that doesn't align with your value system, or wouldn't work with you. You could remove that and accept those which are working and which are good for you. But at least you should keep an open mind to learn everything. Next, A comes the for active. Now active means you need to be in a state of actively taking notes and asking questions, basically interacting with the information, commenting and knowing what the answers are. Because when you interact, your brain thinks that you are interested in this subject, you want to know more about this subject, and eventually you find better answers. For every better question there is an even better answer. So when you start asking yourself such questions and interacting with the person from whom you are receiving the information, or start commenting and discussing some things, your things get clear in your mind, and you would be focused, and basically you would get much more clarity rather than making all the things up in your mind. Instead you should ask or get the correct information from the right people. That's basically it means. Active means taking notes and knowing what he's talking about and what information you are receiving. Then when you are active, when you take notes, you should filter out those negative ones which you don't want to do, and rest all keep it. Next comes the S. S stands for the state you are in. Suppose you are learning in a boring state, you would learn nothing. He tells that information combined with emotion is a long-term memory. Now when you are in school, or if you still are in school, then you might know that you have a lot of information from textbooks and various sources. You are fed a lot of information, but you have zero emotion, and anything multiplied by zero is what? Zero. That's why you don't remember anything that you learned in school. But when you learn in a state, suppose you are let's assume that you are bored, then you shouldn't learn anything at all, because anything multiplied by zero is what? Zero. So it wouldn't be of much of effect if you learn in that situation or state. That's why there are motivational videos. You should watch motivational videos when you need the motivation to do some work, but wouldn't you shouldn't watch any motivational video when you don't have any work. So here motivational video would help you move a step further and do the thing that you wanted to. So basically you want to shift your stage, or stage at which you are operating, or the state in which you are operating, such as the boredom, or you could do some exciting stuff. That's why there was exercise could boost up your mood. But even if exercise doesn't, then you should try something else, try motivational videos, listen to some songs. There are many ways to boost up your mood. So basically the whole conclusion is that you should level up your state and be in a state of learning where you are interested in that particular subject. You could watch motivational videos, as I said. You should try those things out to be in a state of learning. Then next comes the T stands for teaching, which I am doing to you because learn with the intention to teach. So when we have the intention of teaching somebody else, then we learn it carefully. We take notes and see what that we want to convey, everything that we have learned. So that's why I'm teaching this method to you, so that I could test out how much I know. And this is the same method you could do. That's why I recommend you making videos on what you learn. That's why I started making videos in English, because when I practice English I would improve my English. Although my English is not that good, but would improve eventually. So that's why you need to teach somebody. You must have the intention to teach somebody. Maybe in your family, it could be your mother, father, or anyone, or you could just turn on the camera and start speaking, or you could write a blog post, or if you are not comfortable on video, then you could think of starting a podcast and record your audio and say what you have learned. Just do that. So do whatever you could do to teach that or to spread that knowledge to somebody. It would help you know that how much you know. That's why I'm doing that also. So let's summarize this video quickly. So be fast method. B stands for belief. You must have strong beliefs that you could do some things and nothing is impossible for you. And once you remove those limiting beliefs that you have, that you can't do, or all the negative beliefs, throw them away. Those are rules. Throw them away. Then next comes the exercise. When you keep your heart pounding, make your heart pounding. At that time your brain becomes active, releases adrenaline, due to which your state of learning becomes active and your brain starts to collect all the information there is, because you are not in a state of boredom. Next comes the F for forget. So you have to forget what you have learned or what you believe in and keep an open mind, because then only you could grasp all the information that is out there. Then comes A. You need to be active, taking notes, asking questions, discussing in forums, asking your questions on forums, and getting to know that topic in as much detail as you could, so that you know all the things that you need to know. Then S comes for state. State means what state you are in. You could listen to music, or you could watch motivational video, or you could do anything that levels up your state of boredom to some exciting. And basically you need to level up your state which you are in. Then comes the T for teaching. Learn with intentions to teach. That's how you learn. Teach someone a subject and then you would know how good you are in that subject. So that's basically it. This was the video on how to learn fast with the P fast method. You could check the video out by Jim Quick. I might leave a link in the description below, or you could just go on YouTube and search the big Jim Quick's how to learn anything fast, unleash your brain power. It was something like that. I just wanted to share this in a quick video with you. Thank you for watching. See you in the next coming episode.